Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Claire Extended Cut. I would have gotten this video out earlier, but there was a few problems. One, the patch, the day one patch that was supposed to come out with the game took a couple of extra days to come out, so it has taken me up until now to actually get through the game on a relatively reasonable thing. And, well, actually to be fair, that's about it. But let's just go hop in anyway. But first, we'll go have a look at the options. You can change the brightness. However, this doesn't actually change the brightness of the entire screen. It only changes the brightness of some of the ambient lights, which is kind of annoying because you turn it up and down in an area with no light and you think to yourself, why isn't this working? Well, that's why. You've also got sound sliders. Those work fine. And different sets of controls. Now, funnily enough, they actually have this set wrong in the manual, at least in the version that I've got here, which is 1.01. So, it tells you that pressing the R button is how you change your light source, but that's not how it works at all. You have to press start while in the menu, which is also the normal flashlight control, in order to actually change your light source, which is a little annoying. You have 3 different sets of controls that you can select here, notably changing this so that interact is anywhere except the X button makes the game kind of more annoying to play because it makes interacting with anything on the triangle button, which is kind of hard to get used to. So I just recommend keeping it on Investigator. You don't really need to use the jump button that much in this game anyway, so that's perfectly fine. We'll go loading into my game now, which is an hour and a half in. I'm currently in building B and I haven't explored... What? No, not this shit again. So, I did a video of this before the day one patch came out, and it had the same problem, and I really need to get around to telling this guy what this problem is. But yeah, the save data just vanishes, but it's still there. See? It loads up just fine. I don't know what the deal is with that. But yeah, game's got some loading times. Game's also a Unity engine game. Even though it's 2D, it's going to have some performance problems here and there, so don't be surprised when that happens. So, Claire, for those of you who've played Lone Survivor, this is going to look very familiar. The idea is that you're wandering around these areas here, and you have to find your way to the next objective, whatever the next objective may be. You do have the ability to go into your journal here and check what you need to do. But yeah, you basically need to find your way to the next objective. You can find things like notes that'll tell you about someone else who's hanging around here at this point. And you do also have inventory items, like you can unlock doors, you can get health items, you can get green tea and hard candy, which will calm you down a bit. And you've got butterflies, flashlight batteries, you've also got a lighter for when your flashlight batteries are run out. There are 3 difficulties in this game. Oh, bugger me, it's following me, isn't it? Indeed it is. So, this game's got 3 difficulties. The first one lets you revive as much as you want, the second one revives you with less health, and the third one can't revive at all. 1 life, that's it. And considering how this game can be about specific monsters, that's actually kind of annoying about it. But yeah, anyway. You can take damage from these things just by being in the same general area as them, which is kind of unpleasant. Also, yes, that noise is as annoying as it sounds. Is this a vent? That's not a vent. So yeah, I basically just have to run from this goddamn thing and hope it doesn't catch up with me. Because that's how the monsters kind of work in this game. So you may have noticed the game is actually a little dark. This is quite the annoyance. Mainly because... Oh, Jesus. Just trying to run from the goddamn monster before it catches up to me. You may notice that the game is unusually dark. Oh great, there it is again. Running. Now, the dark is actually kind of a problem on the Vita's OLED. Can I talk now? That thing is surprisingly loud. Yeah, you can see one of the performance problems right here. But yeah, the game is notably dark, even with the flashlight out. It's going to look better on the Vita screen compared on the video than it actually does on the Vita screen because that's just the way it works. It's kind of annoying, honestly, because that means I can't actively show it off. And There are some areas in this game that are really dark and filled with monsters that you can't see until you're right on top of them, which is the most annoying thing in the world. Because it is entirely possible to be on top of a monster and just instantly die to it. Well, not instantly die, but you'll be dead before you realize it's even there. Which is really frustrating, I gotta say. Monster's waiting for me out here, isn't it? No, it's not. It's going back. So you'll enter a room that's absolutely full of monsters, and you might not even be able to see them until... Can he come through this door? They can't, but they get annoyed at the door. So yeah, the only way to get past the monsters is to run right through them, and you might not know they're there, because the game is notably pretty damn dark, until you're right on top of them. There are some monsters that hang out on the roof that do this, and they're really freaking annoying. So, yeah, just be wary of that. As you can see, he hurt me, so I need to just basically run 2 rooms. Can he catch up with me? No, I don't think he can. You do have 2 separate health meters. You've got fair, which is your actual health, and then your brain over there, which is calm. And depending on your difficulty level, this will actually hurt you if you let that get too bad of a state. It will actually start hurting you, which is a little frustrating, honestly. But I am playing on the easy difficulty, so this isn't going to affect me much. So it's a little bit like Lone Survivor in that sense, where you have to try and wander around and figure out where the items are that you need to survive, and try and figure out where you need to go next. And there is this whole horror theme going on with it, but there isn't that much. Alright, let me try and rephrase that. There's a few jump scares here and there, mostly. That's the majority of this game's horror, more or less. It's kind of annoying, honestly, because you end up just constantly... You end up getting used to all the jump scares just because there's so many of them. Which is kind of annoying, honestly. Oh, hey, a butterfly. I think butterflies let you revive or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it's kind of annoying, honestly. Oh, great. There's going to be a monster in here, isn't there? Can't see much. But yeah, it's mostly jump scares for the most part. The screen will just go completely nutso and the sound will start blaring up, and it's not too loud, but it's not exactly the best thing either. Okay, apparently I don't even know where I am anymore. Not great. I will take coffee. What's this? Another lockpick. You can lockpick doors, and there are things like side quests. You can find people wandering around in the... Well, not so much wandering around as much as being stuck in one room. And you can talk to them and do those side quests, more or less. Which is certainly something. Oh, would you look at that? It's a flashback sequence. And this is a puzzle sequence, apparently. Leave that alone. Can I... Nope, can't interact with that one for some reason. So increase... Leave that one alone. I hate puzzle sequences like this. There's one of these earlier on in the game, and it's kind of annoying. Increase the power here. Decrease the power here. Increase the power here. And nothing. And I can't go through that. Great. Great. Increase. Decrease. Increase. Increase again. Increase. Damn it. Increase. Decrease. Increase. Increase. Decrease. Decrease? There we go. So yeah, those... Oh god. It's the massive hairdo monster. Run. Psh. Yeah, this... I was playing the pre-patch version. This guy does come up from time to time. Apparently I'm back to being Big Claire. Oh, there's that guy again. This is rather, Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, no, maybe I'm not gonna die. And I'm back to being the little girl again. I should probably use this. There we go. Back to more or less normal. Okay. Run. Happy television. There's the big guy again. It is mainly jump scares. There is some writing and some plot going on, but it's very lightweight, I've noticed. Which is... Oh. What the... Okay. There is some plot going on. This is like the most plot the entire game has had so far. It's kind of strange, actually. You don't really know much about what's going on. It's kind of implied that the entire place is like some sort of psychological trap for people. But yeah, there's not that much to know. It's plain going over, of course. It's just making it hard to focus. It's weird. It doesn't really tell you that much, and it isn't as engaging as I would have hoped. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm actually at an ending right now. There are some side quests, and there are multiple endings you can get. So there is some replay value. Honestly, I'm just not that into it because the majority of the game is wandering around looking for the way to the next area. It's not like Lone Survivor where there was like combat and stuff you could do, right? It's just... Whoop, she broke it. Bzzz. Alright then, and we're back to the horror bits. Just, even with this, it's just not as... Oh dear God. Jump scare? Nope, we're back to a loading screen. Of course we are. So the majority of the game is just wandering around the individual areas trying to find the way to the next bit, and it really isn't that engaging. It feels more like a adventure game, and by adventure game I mean like a point and click sort of thing. So this isn't the majority of the game. You spend most of your time wandering around looking for the... Oh God, not again. More caffeine pills, a save lantern. There really isn't that much to talk about. It really is just wandering around until you find the way to the... Oh. New map. But yeah, that is basically the entire game. It's literally just... Well, it's not literally just wandering around looking for the next thing to do, but you do a lot of wandering, you do a lot of looking around, you do a lot of just trying to find what you're supposed to do next and trying to keep your resources up, avoiding the silly monsters, and I don't have a light source, do I? No, I do not. We got a blue screen of death. I'm surprised we're actually out of the hospital, but yeah. And we're back to wandering again. We'll be wandering for some time, for most likely. Those interesting bits I say with quote fingers is just it is a somewhat interesting game. I'm not personally feeling it. It's got enough to keep horror fans going, I guess, but I mean, if you don't like these sorts of games, this definitely isn't going to convince you otherwise. Especially when you have to Especially when the majority of, like, surviving monsters is just running right through them. Because when you're sprinting, they can't hit you. So there's not that much management to be done. I still don't have a flashlight. Not great. And there's a jump scare for you. Just seems unnecessary. The place is creepy enough on its own. You don't need to do jump scares, guys. It just seems entirely against the point. But then again, this is a horror game, so you got to expect it from time to time. Oh, is that necessary? What was that? I heard it, but I didn't see anything happen. Yeah, most of these doors are just blocked. This is generally what happens. You just wander around, you find blocked doors. So that's what happened. And there's a vent here, and where the hell am I now? Loading screen again. Thankfully, the loading times aren't that long. I'm in the library now, apparently. This girl's going freaking nuts, isn't she? Like, the first thing, like, she went to the northern door, and in the previous segment, she goes to the northern door, and she says, I need to find a key. Someone important might have it. And then she learns who might have it, and she's like, I better go find that person. The downside being that person's been dead for 20-something years. So, yeah, it's a bit unusual. A divider between the people, failure last of all, duty before faith. This is probably some kind of puzzle. There's a similar puzzle like this earlier. And another save room. I'm gonna just end this video off here because you've seen enough of what's going on. But it is mainly just wandering around, finding simple puzzles to solve, finding the solutions to said puzzles, looking for things like keys, and just trying to find your way through the areas. This is basically what this game is. What I've shown is a pretty decent demonstration of it. It's not bad. It looks alright. It runs okay. It does have performance problems from time to time. It does a little bit too many jump scares and stuff like that for the like and not... I don't want to say real horror. I want to say more like just down low horror. But yeah. It's okay. Would I recommend it for... I think they said it was up for 15 bucks. I don't think I'd recommend it for 15 bucks, especially since that this sort of game isn't really something that is going to convince non-fans of the genre to try it out. But maybe if it goes on sale, I'd probably give it a better shot. Oh, and I've got my lighter again. Do I get my... Yeah, I do get my flashlight. But yeah, that's basically all I've got to say about Claire. Because there really isn't that much to talk about. It's very lightweight in the way of a game. It's closer to something like Myst than it is Lone Survivor, but yeah. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.